say let us continue this transmission in the following way. Relax. Get comfortable. Keep your eyes open and focused on the center of the holotope before you. And as your lights dim and as your music plays, let go. Let go of all the days of the past. You are standing now in the threshold, in the doorway, in the gateway itself, at the center of the scales. Allow yourself to simply focus softly on the center of the holotope, knowing that this is a reflection of the total consciousness of your being, the eye of all that is, a mirror of your energy, your frequency, your light. And as you begin to relax and breathe more and more easily, softly, deeply, gently, you allow yourself to recollect all the things you are connected to of what you call the past. All the stepping stones that brought you to where you are today. All the things you have learned in the experience of space and time. All the discoveries you have made about yourself. All of the insights that have come into your consciousness. All of the dreams you have ever dreamt. All of the moments of your life. From childhood through adolescence and into adulthood, if that is appropriate for you, to whatever stage you are at now in your life, allow yourselves to slowly drift and melt into the vibration of love, gratitude, and appreciation for everything you have ever experienced has helped to bring you to the time and place in which you now stand. And it has all been for the purpose of serving you to discover who you truly prefer to be. It has all been for the reasons you have created, and it has all been your responsibility, your choice, to explore even the darkness so that you could more clearly see the light. Have gratitude and appreciation for every step along the way has served you to become who you are and has brought you to this moment, here and now. Relax and breathe. And let go. Let go now of all those stepping stones. Let go now of all those moments. Let go now of all those ideas. Let go now of all those beliefs that are no longer aligned with who you know yourself to be, standing in this doorway, standing on the threshold of a new reality, a new dawn, a new cycle, a new day, a new world, a new parallel reality, moment by moment by moment. Did you feel the shift? These things will become more tangible, more perceivable by you. Synchronicity is all there is, and it is through synchronicity that you will know and recognize more and more clearly and more consciously the shifts as they occur within you. Let synchronicity be your guide. Let go, let go, let go, and let in the new light, the new vibration, the new frequency, the new day, the new reality, the new world, the new you. For you are now shifting to another facet of the multi-dimensional crystal of creation, shining, reflecting a new light from a new direction, a new frequency, a new energy. New colors shall become apparent to your senses. New sounds shall become audible to your ears. A new perspective of the single moment in which we all exist now. More and more will you feel the connection to creation through the single moment and all its perspectives. More and more, as you experience new moments, will you know them to be the same moment from a different point of view. More and more will you explore and be willing to explore and discover more of who you are. For that is your birthright. And that is the theme you are exploring of self-discovery now. Awakening. Awakening. Awakening into the new dream. A new physical reality, a new personality, with new abilities, new senses, new awarenesses, new perceptions. In greater communion with the higher mind, and shining that light, that spark of light, from your heart, from your solar plexus, from your third eye, the triangle, the gateway, the portal to all dimensions. Let go, let go, let go. And let in all those vibrations that are aligned and harmonized with your true self. Let them in, for they will serve you now. They will take up your cause. They will support you, and they will carry you as a current upon the ocean of consciousness. Wave after wave, you, all of you, individually and collectively, have created this wave, this moment. It is your creation. And you have spread this into 1,001 reflections into the cosmos. But all of those reflections, all of those alignments, all of those energies are simply mirrors reflecting back to you all the different faces of your being, the different aspects of your consciousness. You have created this, and we have created this together with you, and opened doors together through which we shall walk hand in hand, arm in arm, into a new reality, a new realm, a new world, a new being, a new you, a new us. This day, you are Inanika, the spirit of the ancient ancestors reborn. This day, we are Shakani, a higher vibration of our reality. This day, the Sirius energy is no longer Siskeen. It is now Os. And together, in this triad, this triangle, this tetrahedron, this crystal of creation, we rise together to a new vibration, a new frequency, a new light, a new love, a new life. Our hearts beat together, and they beat as one. For we all share this moment, this threshold crossing moment, in our respective realities and our respective civilizations, we cross the divide together and stand in wide-eyed wonder on the new side at the edge of a new world, full of discoveries to be made, full of promises, full of more and more and more, without end, in new cycles upon cycles upon cycles of being, refreshed, renewed, reborn. Breathe it in and make this new atmosphere your new world, connected to all life upon that world, stepping into a new parallel reality that we will explore together. And feel the joy pour forth as you know it is your choice to be free. And nothing shall ever contradict you or take that freedom from you, for nothing ever can. And you will now choose to be free, because that is why you are here, to make that choice, to now decide to be free or not. It is up to you, but you are now free to choose. Tip the scale in the direction of the accelerated positive energy of your being, so that the cycles may spiral upward and carry you aloft into the winds and bear you away to worlds of wonder awaiting your discovery. Fly with us, shift with us, be free with us, and breathe with us. Drift and dream. Drift and dream. Drift and dream. And awaken in the dream of the new you, the sparkling, scintillating light of all that is, as it caresses you and carries you forever onward toward more of all that is, and the reflections without end. Allow now your music to soften, your lights to soften, and as you breathe, and as you dream, and as you drift, know that you are, to whatever degree you prefer to be, to whatever degree you say you are, to whatever degree you choose to be, a new person in a new reality. Everything from this point forward, at every moment, is zero. Here and now and nowhere else. Choose. Every moment, choose. Every moment, choose. Relax. And remember now that you are not coming back to the world that was here a moment ago. You have shifted and created a tangible expression of it in your synchronicity. You have crossed the divide. We have crossed it together, and we welcome you to the other side. We will continue tomorrow in the transmission with the Parallel Reality Specialist. For now, whisper her name, Willa Hillichrising. Willa, Hilla Chrissing, Willa, Hilla Chrissing. She will come. Our unconditional love to you all. Our deepest gratitude and appreciation to you all. Good day and sweet dreams. Inanika. Did you all have a good time? Thank you all very, very much for being here tonight. We look forward to seeing you again. Please have a wonderful evening. Thanks.
Hello, Bashar.
And a good day.
Thank you. I would like a little clarity on the concept of vibrations.
Yes.
Because I think you talk about raising or lowering your vibration.
Yes,
and I was wondering what it is actually.
It's your energy.
That's vibrating.
Energy has frequency to it. A simple example is what you call your visible spectrum of light, yes? You know it's all the same kind of electromagnetic energy, but you know that red is a different frequency, a different vibrational rate than blue, which is a higher vibrational rate. Yes?
Yes.
So when you allow yourself to align with your truth, your passion, your creativity, your love, you are allowing yourself to upgrade and accelerate, raise up your frequency. And by raising up your frequency, it makes you more sensitive as a receiver, in a sense, as an antenna, to pick up on even higher frequencies above and beyond your reality. Your senses expand. You start being able to perceive the structure of existence. You start being able to understand that you have a direct connection to Source. You start being able to actually experience it in that way. You start being able to realize that you are already being given everything you can possibly be given. You don't necessarily have to ask for more. It's that you just have to pay more attention to what you're already getting. And raising your frequency makes you a more sensitive receiver to be able to pay more attention to what you're already being given that helps you. Yes? Does that answer your question?
I think I could think about that for a long time, actually.
Well, if you insist, you can think about it for as long or as short as you wish. But it's really not that complicated. You're just making yourself basically more sensitive to receive higher energy information by matching that level, by matching that frequency. Remember, the principle is you cannot perceive what you are not the vibration of. So when you are vibrating at a certain rate, at a certain frequency, you can't perceive the things that are vibrating like this. You have to raise your frequency and become matched to that frequency like two tuning forks to be able to receive and understand and translate and process that vibration and all the information and all the experience that is relevant to that vibration. If you're down at this level on this vibration scale, you can't really have any experiences that are representative of a different vibrational level. Make sense?
Yeah.
You have to think about that for a while too, I suppose.
But to rate, I guess the second part of my question would be to raise my vibration.
That's the formula that we've given you all. Yes? You act on your highest passion because passion is the translation in your body of your true frequency. Okay. You do it to the best you are able, and you do it with absolutely no insistence and no assumption, thinking that you know what the outcome is supposed to be of acting on that passion because your physical mind really has no idea. And if you insist on knowing what that outcome should be and put those kinds of restrictions on it, your higher mind and creation cannot necessarily then give you what could actually be much better than you have imagined. So you have to really trust the synchronicity and the higher self to deliver to you, when you're in the correct vibration of passion, all the things you truly need at that moment.
Your physical mind is only designed to understand and experience what's happening, what's going on right now at this moment, and take that experience in. Your physical mind is not designed to really know what's going to happen, but higher intelligence does. And therefore it guides you and says, follow your passion. That's the compass needle pointing to your true north. That's the compass needle that allows you to align with your true self and your true path in life. Follow the passion, follow the love, follow the excitement, follow the curiosity, follow the creativity. That's what you are. That's who you are. And then you know your path will be unerring. It will be the path of least resistance, the path of joy. You will experience less struggle and strife. It's just the way it works. You're going with the flow of your current. You're not swimming upstream. You're not resisting it. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's the formula. Act on your highest passion to the best you can at every moment. Do it as much as you can, as far as you can take it, until you can take it no further. Then act on the next most exciting thing. And then do that with absolutely no insistence, no assumption as to what the outcome ought to be, and see what happens. And then whatever happens, remain in a positive state. Even if something manifests that you don't initially prefer, you have to know it's there for a reason. There are no accidents. It's there for a reason. Learn to stay in a positive state, and then you can use what you don't prefer in a way that you do prefer and get the benefit from it. But you have to know that whatever you are given is what you need at that moment. Because sometimes you will test yourself. Maybe something will manifest that you don't prefer, and maybe you will find yourself reacting in the same old way with the same old fear-based beliefs and say, oh, why did that happen? Something must be wrong. Something's off. I will judge myself. I must have done something wrong. That is what exactly makes that state stick and stay there and get you in a loop of negativity. But if you suddenly realize, all right, I recognize objectively that I don't prefer this, but I know it's got to be there for a reason that serves me. I just know that. Then you will be able to extract the benefit. You will see eventually why it happened in that way, if for nothing else again, that you tested yourself to make sure that you're not making your happiness conditional on what happens outside. You are making your happiness conditional only on what you decide is true for you. Yes?
Fantastic.
Is this helping?
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
All right. You didn't need much time to think about that then, yeah?
Well, no. Somehow it just
Clicked
in there.
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else?
That's it.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, Bashar.
And you good day.
Going back to when you were talking about the 9 levels of consciousness,
Yes.
I was trying to get a better understanding. You made an emphasis on the emotions, the beliefs, the emotions, and the thoughts, reversing
Yes.
them.
Belief systems are the blueprint that leads to emotions, thoughts, and behaviors that creates your experience in reality.
And you made a point to say that the way we normally think about that, we should flip that upside down. So that
No.
beliefs are on top.
No. Not that you should flip it upside down. What we're saying is you think it's upside down.
Yeah.
That's the way your society sees it. In other words, you think your subconscious mind and your unconscious mind are below your conscious mind. They're not. They're above. Because it comes from the less physical to the more physical. So the unconscious mind is actually a higher frequency than the subconscious mind, which is a higher frequency than the physical mind. So what we're saying is you need to understand that that's the way it actually is, so that you can work with it in a more constructive way, rather than thinking that the subconscious and unconscious mind are below or beneath the physical mind, which gives the physical mind the idea that it's somehow in charge, which it's not.
So is this compatible with the idea of the chakra system? Because when I think about it, it doesn't...
Not exactly, no. It's not quite the same thing as the idea of the chakra system in the body. The chakra system in the body are simply the energy centers that process the idea of the beliefs, the emotions, the thoughts, the behaviors in a way that allows you to experience yourself either in balance or out of balance with your own true, fundamental, essential frequency. So the chakras give you an understanding of how to align more clearly with your true essential frequency and give you an understanding of when you may be out of alignment with that true essential frequency. So it's not exactly the same thing, although they're interrelated, because one is an expression of what's going on in the others.
Right.
Does that help?
So it won't help to try and synthesize those two systems of thought. It's just better to keep them separate.
You can synthesize them together. They do work together, as I just said. So if you understand the interrelationship of what the chakra centers are showing you, whether you are in balance, out of balance, then that gives you an opportunity to maybe go in and examine your belief systems and why the beliefs you're holding on to are throwing you out of balance, represented by the imbalance in the chakra system. So you're using the chakra system, in a sense, as a way, as an indicator to let you know when there might be something out of whack, out of balance, out of alignment within you. Now, it doesn't mean you have to do it that way. Some people are sensitive to being able to read that. Some people are not. It's not necessarily their particular permission slip, but it can be used that way. But that's the relationship.
All right, thank you.
Does that help?
Yeah.
Anything else?
I just wanted to know, like, basically, you have a very simple formula.
Yes, I do.
And
because creation is fundamentally very simple. It can be richly complex, but the structure is very, very simple.
And it's the answer you give to everyone every time, pretty much, in different words.
Because there is only one instruction manual. There's only one formula. If you understand that, you're free, and you can answer all your own questions. That's the point.
So
it's like saying, if I handed you an instruction manual to help you understand how to operate a piece of machinery, would you start looking for extra pages, going, there must be more to the instructions than this? Or would you be happy that the instruction manual was relatively simple?
I'm just wondering why, what do people get caught up in, why it seems so simple, and yet it's...
Because you have been taught to believe that things have to be a struggle in order to be worthwhile.
So the process, pretty much, if you were to begin, is simply
the process
try to imagine
is to simply understand the instructions,
right,
clearly,
and to make that applicable and
and
practical.
to apply them in your reality, and you'll get the result. Just like, again, if you follow the instructions in an instruction manual for a piece of machinery, the machine will operate according to the instructions. Now, the machine of creation always operates. The instruction manual is designed to reveal to you how it operates to your advantage instead of to your disadvantage, because you're the one in charge of pushing those buttons. You have free will to choose whether you'll be in alignment with creation or out of alignment with creation. So the instruction manual is a way of understanding how to be in alignment, how to go with the flow to your advantage.
So the more excitement, the more passion you have,
Yes.
the higher your frequency.
Yes. The more you act on your passion. It's not necessarily about the volume of passion. It's about the frequency upon which you're willing to act on it. Because sometimes you can start small and you can say, well, I don't have any large-scale passion project or a large-scale passionate career or anything like that. But at any given moment, I have a number of options available to me that I can take action on. They can be very, very basic and very simple. Take a walk, read a book, call a friend, eat a meal. The idea is that synchronicity is the organizing principle. Therefore, whichever one contains even the tiniest bit more attractiveness, gets your curiosity a little bit more strongly than any other choice, that's the one to act on first until you can act on it no further. When you can act on it no further, then look for the next thing that has even just the tiniest bit more excitement in it, more attractiveness in it than any other choice, and act on that next. That's how synchronicity brings it to you in a way that makes it organize all the things you need to do in the order in which you need to do them in perfect timing. And you can start that way. Now, eventually, if it needs to build up into something bigger, then it will snowball into something bigger, because more and more opportunities will come to you synchronistically that might be representative of larger opportunities, larger expressions of your passion. But it's not so much about the volume itself as it is the frequency with which you're willing to act on it that makes the difference.
So there's not a threshold of energy, so to speak, that you have to cross before a manifestation occurs?
You're always manifesting something, aren't you? Aren't you manifesting right now? That's your nature. If you weren't manifesting, you wouldn't be having a physical experience at all. So obviously you can manifest. It's about becoming more aware that you manifest, and it's about becoming more aware of how you manifest, and about becoming more aware of how you can prefer to manifest things that are more in alignment with who you truly are. It's not about learning to do something you're not already doing. It's about becoming more aware of what you're already doing in a conscious way. That's all. You're already manifesting. That's natural. It's built in. You can't help it. That's just what you are. You're a manifester. You're a co-creator. A little say good day to you this day of your time. How are you all? All right. All right. Once again, we thank each and every one of you and all of you together collectively for the co-creation of this interaction and the allowance of this transmission at this time. Each and every time you co-create with us these interactions, you give us the gift of experiencing through each and every one of you another facet of creation. We thank you for that gift. Let us begin this transmission at this time with the title, 2027, the Fulcrum of Contact. Now, we have previously in these transmissions discussed the idea of a general probability for a window for the beginning of open contact between your civilization and other civilizations more openly on your planet. This window in general has been said to be between your years of 2025 and 2033, give or take a year or two on either side. But the idea now is that things are beginning to crystallize a little bit more, and we can, at this point, in scanning the probabilities, pinpoint the year 2027 specifically as an acceleration toward the idea, the beginning of contact in a variety of ways, a little bit more than the idea of just delivering information to you. It will begin slowly, still. We're not saying that in 2027 all the ships are going to land. That's not what we're saying. So please do not misinterpret this idea. There is still a window. It will begin very strongly in 2027, and here is the explanation of why. Many of you are already familiar in your history with the idea of a seminal event regarding UFO contact that happened in your year of 1947, what you call the Roswell incident, where you really first began to realize that you are not alone in the universe through the crash of a UFO in the desert near your Roswell and Corona in New Mexico. From that point forward began a cycle. Once you had become aware as a society that other beings other than yourself exist on other planets and have the capacity to reach your world with their technology, many different things began to change within your collective consciousness, within your psyche, your awareness. And that began a 40-year cycle. Now, the 40-year cycle has been prevalent in your society for many thousands of years. The idea is that 40 years is generally, in your reality, the time it takes for a complete transformation of a society into a completely new point of view. You see examples of the idea of people changing over 40-year cycles throughout much of your literature if you look for it. The idea, therefore, is that from 1947 to 1987 was the first 40-year cycle when you became aware of the idea of other life in the universe. And in 1987, many of you started to realize that there was another culmination cycle going on then, and you called it the harmonic convergence. And at that time, we began to bring through more information about what's going on out in the universe and how different kinds of societies relate to your world, specifically about the idea of the beings you call the Greys, and how we first began to explain the real legacy, the real history of what that society was all about, being that they were originally humans on a version of Earth in a parallel reality that did not necessarily take care of their world, that destroyed their version of Earth through their technological means and their lack of spiritual context, and mutated themselves eventually in order to survive into the beings you now know as the Greys. We told you this story and helped you understand that the reason that they came from their reality to yours and many other versions of Earth was to access viable human DNA, since they were no longer able to reproduce, and with that DNA and their technology create a race of hybrid beings that would continue their culture so they would not die out. As we have explained many times, of course, we are one of those hybrid civilizations. And Earth, in a sense, in its evolution, is becoming another hybrid civilization. But the idea being, from that point forward in 1987, when you began to realize what the larger story was and how you're connected to it, and how the information that we share with you is not only for the purpose of continuing the Greys' original culture from the parallel Earth, but also to help your world not necessarily go down the same path of destruction, because you had many similar traits and still have many similar traits to what it is that brought about the destruction of their version of Earth in their reality. But by disseminating and absorbing this information into your society, you have the option they didn't have. You have the option to take a different path. You have the option to create a reality that you prefer. You have the option to create positive realities of peace. So the idea here then is we are now nearing the end of that next 40-year cycle in 9 of your years in 2027. And that's why 2027 is now the focal point when the next 40 years, the next phase of contact can begin. It will accelerate at that point in a variety of unexpected ways. There will be more sightings, there will be more synchronicity, there will be here and there on your planet individual and isolated contacts happening. Now, as we have explained, the hybrid races that exist will not necessarily be the first beings that you interact with. There are others that you will interact with that in many ways are actually a little bit more like you and a little bit closer in relation to your world, and therefore interaction with beings more like yourselves will alleviate some of the ideas of panic that some people on your planet may feel in interacting with alien species, allowing you the opportunity to get used to the idea that you can have neighbors from the stars. And as soon as that becomes something that you are far more familiar with, then other races that are a little less like you can begin to introduce themselves in a constructive and peaceful manner that does nothing to disrupt the society that you have chosen to create for yourselves. But it will begin in earnest. The next phase will begin in 2027 and accelerate from there all the way up, as we said, till about 2033. Between 2033 and 2040, as we read the energy as it exists now, if nothing changes, the highest probability is that between those years, 2033, 2040, you will experience complete open contact on your planet. And during that time, also, the children that were created from the extraction of the DNA, the hybrid children, will begin to arrive on Earth to live in certain enclaves, in certain secluded areas, safe areas on your planet, again, where they can live as a group, where they can acclimate to living in your society, and you can acclimate to their society, and you can begin to blend and harmonize and welcome into your reality, welcome them into your world, and begin to really develop a real strong relationship with those children, to begin to truly understand your place in the stars, your very honored place in the galactic family. And through those years, 2033 to 2040, you will develop much, much more understanding of all the interrelationships that have occurred and can occur between your world and other beings from the stars. From that point forward, again, as we read the energy now, up till about the year 2050, all of that acclimatization will take place, so that somewhere around the year 2050, you can actually enter into membership, if you wish, with the idea of the Interstellar Alliance and truly begin in earnest your education of the galaxy and a true understanding and connection of creation and existence that will spread you to the stars to explore, to discover more of yourself, and allow you to truly, from that point forward, develop a true harmony and a true paradise on your planet. So 2027 will be the kickoff point for that, a very strong one, and you will see a lot of different things happening in that year. It will be a very exciting time. Now, before that time, we give you a little bit of a preview coming up into your next year of 2019, which we are going to label the crossing of the threshold. You will find 2019 will have what you would call a lot of things breaking up, ups and downs, scattering, more splitting into different parallel ideas, more dichotomy, more polarization, but again, the continuation of getting everything out on the table so you can decide what kind of a reality you truly wish to have. And it will lead up to your year of 2020, which is a very important point for a variety of reasons we will get into in more detail later. But the idea is you can understand it symbolically as not only the idea of 2020 vision, seeing very clearly now where you are heading, but also the way you use it in your reality of 2020 hindsight, where you can really look back, see where you've come from much more clearly to make a very clear decision in that year of where it is you would prefer to go and really begin to live in the reality you prefer, regardless of what may be going on with other people's choices, regardless of what other choices they may make to experience different kinds of reality than you may feel vibrationally compatible with. Regardless of that, the splitting into the different parallel realities and the different paths that can lead you into the reality you prefer will truly be happening in 2020, where you will have a much clearer understanding and a much clearer vision of where you've come from, why you've come that way, and where you can go from there. And that will help in that period leading up to 2027. That will help crystallize it for you and make sure that you are precisely, exactly, synchronistically where you need to be that serves you best in 2027, so that you may experience the fruits of all you have learned in the beginning of the point of contact with other worlds. So we thank you for working with us in this way. It is absolutely our passion to be able to further contact with your civilization among the other civilizations that we have contacted. It gives us great joy to be able to know that it is possible to interact with your world in this way and invite you into the family so that you can begin your process of moving at whatever pace is comfortable for you from the idea of Homo sapien to Homo galacticus. So, we will talk more about this in more detail as the years progress, as it begins to unfold. We will point out certain synchronicities that it would be wise to pay attention to so you can add them to your bag of knowledge and your ability to gain more insight and outer sight as to what's going on around you more clearly. And taking into account what we discussed last night of your time, knowing that you are all time travelers in a sense, determining which parallel reality paths you are taking by following your joy, by acting on your passion to the best you can, dropping all the insistence on what you think is supposed to happen and letting reality show you, letting creation show you the gifts that it has for you and responding to them in a positive way will drive you forward and allow you to experience the great acceleration that we're talking about that will come to a head in 2027. So then, in return at this time for the gift that you have given us in allowing us to experience all of you in this way and form a link and a bridge to your society with ours, I ask in return, how may we now be of service to you? Please begin with your questions and dialogues if you wish.